Stool Podcast.
What do we want?
Mr. Stool!
Dad, who the hell are these assholes?
You guys are so mean. Those kids are real losers. We don't want your music.
You're their forfeit.
You guys are so embarrassing.
To win any motherfucker over is being funny.
Nice work, you dunce.
The same way everyone drinks out of a mug.
Get your mug on our shop.
You should say
It's not up yet though.
you
so.
should have it say like, "Get your mug out of my face."
Get your mug out of my face. I like that. All right. I think we're good. Everything good, Mick? Oh, we're rolling. Oh,
Jonny,
what?
good morning.
Good morning, brother. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm great.
You're good?
You want to intro us?
Yeah, sure. Hello. This is Thee Stool Podcast. My name is Jonny, aka JonnySavag. You guys already know me. And to my right, we got Anthony.
What's up, everybody?
Anthony's here.
Nice to see you. Good to be here.
And Mick is on the bitch board. He actually volunteered today.
What's up?
So,
I'm a nice guy.
He wanted to deal with all the technical shit that we have to do today.
We adjusted a few things, so we had to make it work.
Yeah, if you're out there and you're controlling Wikipedia, you can just drop my name in there. Just write really nice things about me.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna do that after the episode, just because, bro.
I'm actually going to say a bunch of bad stuff about you, but yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. And today, guys, we have in studio
Very special guest.
very, very special guest. You guys might know one of these gentlemen, but our main guest today is big band leader, Mr. Armand Blais, aka the man with the red trombone, and he's wearing red at the same time. I love it.
Know
We're
your
getting close to
brand.
December, so.
Know your brand.
yeah.
Know your brand.
Oh, I see it.
Right.
We got Santa in studio, guys. And we got Santa's little helper. Pierre's right here on the side hanging out.
Hi.
This is actually Pierre's father.
This is my dad.
Nice.
This is my
We
pops.
all know returning fan favorite Pierre
Pierre.
Blais.
Everybody loved that episode. And so it was a fun one.
Awesome.
But yeah, let's get right into it. Armand, thank you so much for coming in on the pod. I know this, Pierre told you a little bit about what we do. We like to have fun, talk music, bullshit a little bit. So I do have some questions for you. First things first, what was your first instrument? Because you are a musician. What was your first instrument and when did you start playing it? Let's hear it.
First instrument was trombone,
Okay.
fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Wow.
A little bit of violin, a little bit of piano.
Nice.
Stuck with the horn.
Stuck with the horn.
Nice.
Got
Is
it.
there a reason that spoke to you more?
It's just a really cool thing, You can use your imagination, pour out your soul through the horn.
When it came to, like you said, piano and violin, playing them, did they just not feel the same? Because I feel like I'm a guitarist, right? And singer or whatever. Those are like how I write. But I started picking up bass in the last couple of years and I was like, I should have been doing this the whole time. It just felt more natural. Does trombone, would you say, feels more natural?
More natural.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm from a family of 10 kids.
Mhm.
So every time I brought out the violin, I was getting tomatoes thrown at me. I was like, put that thing away.
So you guys
It's like scratching on a board.
had a lot of tomatoes on hand.
A
is what
lot
you're
of
saying.
tomatoes. We lived right next door to the farm.
Oh, okay. Got it. That
We
makes
got
sense.
extra tomatoes and shit. That's awesome. What was like the thing that brought you to music and to like an instrument? Was it like listening to it? Was it the playing?
So when I was about 7, so many kids, we would sit at home and watch like Guy Lombardo, Glenn Miller New Year's Eve.
Mm.
And I watched the Glenn Miller story. And that's what got me hooked on the trombone.
Nice.
That's what I knew I
Was it
wanted
a
to do.
specific player you saw just like killing it or something?
Glenn Miller.
Glenn
Got it.
Miller.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Dad, a lot of people don't know who Glenn Miller is nowadays. You want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Jimmy Stewart.
People don't know who that is either.
That's right. I forgot I'm ancient. You young pups, you don't know.
I know Jimmy Stewart enough.
Yeah, I do know
Glenn
Jimmy
Miller.
Stewart.
I've never heard of though.
Glenn Miller, I have not heard a lot of.
Jimmy Stewart played the part of Glenn Miller in the Glenn Miller story.
Oh.
And Glenn Miller actually lost his life in a plane crash
Oh, okay.
in the wintertime going from a gig.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much time
One
does
of-
that happen,
I know
dude?
one of the other. I think we've already even
crazy.
talked about it. Yeah, we've talked about like this has come up like just organically in the past. Richie Valens and the Big Bopper and all that stuff.
Yep.
It's like
Aaliyah.
that was the other
Aaliyah,
one,
yeah.
John Denver, right?
John Denver. I'm not sure about that, but then also Cliff Burton from Metallica was a bus
Well,
accident.
yeah, but that was a bus.
Still traveling.
No,
True.
I'm
But
gonna
if
stick
we're
to that.
going traveling, then
John Denver did die in the plane crash.
Yeah.
He did.
yeah.
Did he? I'm not sure. Yeah,
But
did
see,
he?
Sonny Bono broke that
trend there.
That trend. Just running
Right into a tree. Honestly, he wanted,
That's right.
You think maybe
That's
he
right.
wanted to simplify things a little bit?
No, honestly, I feel like he wanted to go into that tree like Jack Skellington, but it just the door didn't
The door
open.
never opened.
Nope.
Mm,
It didn't
you
open.
know what? These are the theories. These are
He was
the
trying to
theories
go
that
see
are out there.
Santa, huh?
Yeah.
So he was afraid of heights, so that's why he stayed to the ground.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
He was. He's like, if I'm gonna die, it's gonna be
Right
just
into
moving
that tree.
fast
Just-
on the ground, not in the air. you know?
Solid oak, bam.
Solid oak.
I honestly, I remember
Sucks.
even when I was younger. I remember when that happened. I wasn't really like super familiar with like Sonny and Cher and all that stuff. My parents obviously knew who they were and stuff. And then as a kid, I had heard their music, but I was a kid, and so once that all started like snapping, and I'm like, oh, that guy. It was that guy. He's the guy who ran into the tree. So I was like, I knew him for being the guy who ran into the tree.
Yeah, his
before I
face
knew-
implant is still there.
Yeah, that's how I knew him more so than being the Sonny and Cher,
Right.
all that stuff.
Yeah, that's sad.
So it was Glenn Miller, and you sent me a link. That was Glenn Miller, and it's your favorite song, In the Mood.
In the mood.
Yeah, let's.
I mean, I
One of
don't
your
know that
favorite.
it's my favorite,
Gotcha.
but that's what the audience's favorite is.
Got you.
And we
The
have
big-
to start the show with In the Mood.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it definitely sets the tone.
Let's take a listen to it. Yeah,
and it's one of those songs a lot of people know.
Put,
so.
put it on Mick. I think it's the second tab. Glenn Miller, In the Mood. Let's let's listen to that a little bit, because at least we can get some more familiar with who this is, because I don't know who Glenn Miller is. But let's go. We all listen to everything, so we love all types of music. So let's give it a shot. Let's take a
Well, I
listen.
mean, this is what I grew up listening to, clearly, because my dad, So
yeah, that makes sense.
The whole metal and rock and everything, like that was secondary.
What?
YouTube?
2? Hit 2? Boom.
Hey, there he is.
Here we go.
See that? I'm a genius. I know everything.
Genius. How about that?
All right,
There you go.
we're warming up. We're
little play on words for
We're
you.
getting there. We're getting there, Anthony. Warming up a little bit. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. We just gonna look at his picture on there, or we
Yeah,
gonna play it?
that's his.
He's a
that's the
handsome man.
music.
That's all he
He's,
does.
the music.
he's the original Pootie Tang.
He's a poster child.
Yeah, he doesn't need any music. That's
with
Pootie.
that Pootie Tang pull.
Yeah.
With that Pootie Tang pull, that's good. I'm definitely familiar with this song.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah,
knows this one.
Yeah.
This is the
I know what you're
bangers.
talking- This is the bangers back in
Yeah.
the day.
Back in the well, that's why I tell my dad all the time, like, this was old school hardcore.
Right.
Like legit, you had to sneak out of the house and go to these underground shows because this was
crazy.
like, oh, they're hanging out with those people.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I know what
this
you're
is
saying.
Prohibition, all the hooligans, like.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
you had to sneak out, go to underground clubs, and go swing dancing. So
Right.
that was swing dancing was the old school hardcore dancing.
Got you. That's crazy. I didn't think about it like that.
Well, in reality, that's sort of like the trend. I mean, I feel like music is this sort of art form that, whether it's intentional or not, like kind of pushes like, I I don't know, I'll just use the word like sexual boundaries. It arouses people. It gets them all hot and bothered, you know? And this was the music that was doing it at the time. You go into a club and you even see, you know, like old videos of people, you know, swing dancing or whatever. People are fucking sweating. They're into
grinding.
It. Like, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like old school bump and grind.
You know?
That's
So it's
crazy.
like, that's how they did it back in the day. And it was to this art form. And it's like, it's funny nowadays, we look at it in a very, very different context because those are the people who they grew up listening to it now and they're like older and they listen to it. We associate it with them being older, and what do we need? What, death and black metal to kind of get all sweaty? You know?
You know, but that's what's cool about it is like, you know, my dad always was listening to this, and I didn't appreciate it when I was a kid,
right?
Because I was always like, oh, can we change the channel? But now that I'm older, it's like, oh, dude, this was what
it's coming back around.
Yeah,
you know, it really is. And music always comes around. Always, history repeats itself.
And I definitely think there's a lot to be said about, you know, this kind of big band music, just the collaboration element of live music back then. No electronic element to it. No, you're like literally no plug and play. It's all live instrumentation, and it's like 15 plus people all collaborating to make a beautiful experience. That's why I appreciate that as a live experience more than an EDM show or whatever. You know, it's like
one guy pushing play,
which is crazy to me because, you know, they always try to say like, oh, like what do they always try to tell you, Dad? Oh, your band's too expensive, right. You know. But then they'll pay Diplo or like, you know, somebody like
they'll pay one DJ, you know,
because that person's ready to take the money for 15 people, you know.
You know,
that's crazy. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, doesn't make sense in that instance. They'll pay one guy 15 G's and not pay you guys 15 G's. Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like,
but,
you know.
And here's the thing. I always hear Pierre say, oh, you know, I'm trying to put this show together, and there's 4 guys in the band, and we can't get it together, and I can't, you know, schedule everybody. I go, I'll switch places with you. Okay, why don't you put 18 guys together and get them on stage at the same time? Yep. You know what I mean?
That's why I think it's such a
it's insane.
It's such a cooler thing to me, and maybe that makes me, you know, old at heart or whatever you want to call it. But I think I'm always going to be more impressed. Like, what was the band that you brought? It was like Acoustic Alchemy, I think. Dude, I would kill to see that band live just because how good it is to watch what 4 or 5 dudes shred like that, like in person, like do it, like you're watching humans do a thing. And then, you know, like I mean, I don't ever want to like diminish it down to the like, you press play something at an EDM show or whatever.
Well, because even with that, you have to create that music either way. So like, I'm not diminishing their art form. But it's like it's not a live thing.
The one that I like, as far as like it fills me with this weird visceral feeling that I can't really explain. It's what makes my hair stand up more is watching, like I said, you don't even know where to focus when you watch a thing like that. When you watch an orchestra, you like go from this player to that player, and then you're like, oh, this person's soloing now, and that's such a cool experience to me. Versus where it's like, all right, cool, I'm just gonna dance. I'm not really paying attention to anything. There's all kinds of crazy lights around me and all that stuff. That's fine. That's cool. It's an exciting thing to have happen. But to me, I'm more interested in the other element of watching people like nail it,
like actually play something and have like you can even see their mistakes. Like you're you messed up there. That's real.
That's why they call it live, you know.
Right.
And you have 18 guys. Can you imagine? You know, 18 guys all playing in harmony together.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the coordination alone.
Reading these charts.
It's amazing.
That just amazing. You know?
Well, I mean, for me too, like seeing my dad's orchestra rehearsing in the house when I was a kid, you know, and I remember the first time.
Quick pause.
Ever like?
We're going to revisit that real quick after you're done with your story.
Yeah.
I would love to hear more stories about an orchestra in your house.
That's
got to be revisited.
In the living room.
Oh, that's got to Go ahead and continue.
But being a kid, like watching my dad's orchestra show up and like helping him set up since I was like 3 years old. You know, I remember the first time that he realized that I had rhythm, and it's because I was playing tambourine and I was staying on beat.
Yeah.
And I think that positive influence of him realizing that I had that really drove me to want to become a musician like my dad, you know?
That's cool. That's cool to see. And especially like because like I have a similarity to that because my brother's band, but it was just, 4 guys
Yeah,
in the garage. But like I would get up in the middle, I wouldn't go to school, and then I'd be like hearing the freaking thumping and everything. I'm like, all right, I'm awake, and I'm like, oh, Johnny's practicing. Let me go watch them. And like I was like, 12 years old watching my brother's band play a lot, like, in the garage was just a great experience. But I can't imagine you walk in and there's 18 people right there.
So
how loud that
quick
sounds.
story. We rehearsed at my folks' house one time.
Mm-hmm.
We're all out in the back patio. It was an enclosed patio, glass doors. And the glass doors were closed.
What is we all? Is like 18 guys?
18 guys.
Oh, boy.
And it was like a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So here comes my brother coming home from wherever he came home from. Didn't realize the door was closed. He's like, why is that so loud? Why is it? Walked right through the glass. There you go. That's a great way to make an entrance.
Who's that, Uncle Frank?
Arthur. Yeah, Uncle Frank.
I can see it
with his
was
stick.
Uncle Frank. My Uncle Frank is blind, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, not seeing the glass would be, a little on the nose.
I feel really bad for the laugh now, honestly, knowing he was blind. I take it back. It's just a gentle guffaw from me. So back to the, how often would you practice in the house? You guys would basically come, yeah.
Usually like couple times a month.
Okay.
Because we're all in high school still, right?
Got it.
In fact, when I was in the 7th grade, I was invited to play in the high school band because, I'm from New Hampshire, and there weren't a whole lot of quality trombone players. I'm not tuning my own horn.
That's okay.
Pardon the pun.
Good turn of phrase. Great turn of phrase.
It was a good experience, so that by the time I got to high school, I was that much more ahead.
Right.
Which, sidebar, when your parents are like, you don't have it tough. I had it tough. I used to walk to school in the snow, uphill,
13 miles, uphill both ways.
Well,
Yo, bro, I did it.
I was literally the only one. I'm literally the only one of my dad's kids that got to see where he grew up in New Hampshire. Being on tour with Allshall Parish, my aunt picked me up at one of the venues, and she took me to their old house. And on the way there, I was like, oh, he wasn't fucking lying. Because there's like this sick ass hill. It goes into a valley and another sick hill to get to his house. And I was like,
uphill both ways.
Uphill both ways. I get it.
Legitimately.
And at the top of the hill was a cemetery. So you had to go through the cemetery to get to school.
Jesus.
It was like the fucking intro of The Simpsons. I swear to God.
I'm going to suggest that gets added to every writing room table. You know what I mean? Where it's like when someone makes that joke, or it's like, I did uphill both ways, and it was haunted. Went
through a cemetery.
Through the blizzard, up the hill.
Dude, literally, always snow.
That's
over there.
crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy walk to school, because I used to just walk to school, and I'd be mad if there's a little bit of freaking like water on the floor in the gutters and shit. 'Cause I have to walk across. I can't get across. Like Jesus.
Makes you feel real small, don't it, Johnny?
Which is pretty wild, because then we were driving to my dad's old house, right? And my Aunt Rosie goes, oh, and that's the street where your grandpa found your dad hit by a car. And I was like, I never even knew he got hit by a car. What the fuck?
So we just straight up put the cart before the horse here. We didn't even need an interview about music. Just tell us you got hit by a car storm.
Yeah, let's hear that.
Actually, I didn't get hit by a car.
Okay.
I hit the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, that's the abuse.
So we lived in this hollow. It was called Skunk's Hollow for specific reasons. But there was only maybe
all the
50 houses.
Oh, I get it.
In this hollow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there was no traffic. There's nothing. So we're riding bicycles, right? I was probably, 10 years old. And it was always see who can ride the fastest, right? Well, here I'm following this car and I'm just hauling ass, right? All of a sudden that son of a bitch stopped. and I hit the back end, and it went sliding up the roof and down over the front. I'm laying spread eagle on the front of the car. And the guy's looking, he's like, "Get the fuck off my car."
God bless him for having that much restraint, right?
Not like, "Are you okay?" Or, you know,
Oh, fuck you doing on my car?
Bastard! You hit my car!
Oh, you realize how long it's going to take me to buff that out?
This is real metal.
I know.
That's never going to undent.
It was real metal back
Yeah,
then.
you didn't even dent it.
That's right. That's right. Bike was all trashed.
Jesus, man, that's crazy.
But the best part of that is that I found out my grandpa drove by and he saw him on the road and he just kept
going.
driving.
He's fine.
He just looked at him like, well, only 9 more.
See if you learned to listen on that one.
He drove by, saw you moving, and was like, "It's good."
Yeah,
He'll be out at dinner.
Yeah, all right. If something's wrong, I'll find out later.
That's crazy. You grew up in New Hampshire. I would have never thought. I mean, I've always known him, being here.
right.
So when did you go from there to here to California?
So we, so all 10 of us, my dad's brothers and sisters lived in California. So my mom's brothers and sisters live in New Hampshire. So they made an agreement when they got married, because they moved out to California right after they got married. My mom's homesick, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
They went back. So then they made an agreement that when her parents passed away, she would agree to move to California.
So my grandpa killed them.
That was going to be my next question. So he hired somebody, or
No, there was enough people in the family.
yeah, we knew a name. We just knew a name. I had to give him the list, and then it was from there. It was good.
Yeah.
But no, when was that? What year?
So we moved out here. So we came out in 71 in a Ford Econo van pulling a tent trailer. All 12 of us came out for vacation.
It's a big family, man. That's crazy.
6 days on the road, KOA all the way.
Oh man!
And then we drove home, and then the following year, my dad got a job out here with Boeing.
Okay.
And so then we sold the house, and we
So
all,
he's the man who's to blame for all this stuff that's
it's his
going on.
fault. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm going to be side-eyeing you a little bit from now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so that's how we got out here. 73.
Yeah, my grandpa passed away, and that's why all the airplanes started.
That's why it
going
went to
down.
shit, right? That's why it went to shit.
Because he was quality control.
Good cover-up, yeah.
Wait, so when you came over here, how old were you?
I was 17.
Okay, so
So I just had to finish my senior year of high school. out
Right.
here.
Okay, so you were into music
Oh, so
5 years by
you were
then.
the new kid. You got to be
yeah.
the cool new kid.
Fresh.
Yeah, and the weird thing is I walked into school the first day in high school, and everybody thought I was a freshman, and like, they're going to bully the freshman.
Right.
I was like, fuck you, I'm a senior.
Freshman.
But the cool thing is back east, schools are tough.
Yeah.
So I already had, 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 4 years of Spanish, all this crap. Right? So I got out here. I didn't need any credits.
Yeah.
Oh,
I spent
shit.
literally
Hell
the
yeah.
whole year in the music room.
Literal cool kid.
Yeah,
literal cool kid.
Like
The
those
coolest
high school
kid.
movies when you see the
Yeah.
kid never goes to class
Right.
and somehow he graduates.
Did you wear a leather
That was
jacket?
him.
Did you wear a leather jacket and ride a motorcycle?
I did. Yeah.
You had a Firebird?
Yeah.
Your best
he had
friend
the
was Judd
first
Nelson?
plastic bead in his fucking goatee.
You were the pioneer for that?
I was.
I mean, to that, dude, cheers. I mean, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
and even we had this buddy Clyde Morgan. Never forget him. He drove a green beat up what do you call it?
Dotson?
Datsun. He'd park the parking lots outside, right? The school, high school. No.
Yeah, hopefully it's not inside the school.
Clyde would bring his car right up to the music room,
Right.
and park it right in front of the music room. And then the band would start and go, "Hey, where's Clyde?" Oh, he's on the hood of his car. He'd come wasted to school every day. He passed out on the hood of his car.
Is this your guys' River Phoenix? You know, like he's the guy who's like, and we never saw him again.
I have no idea what happened to him.
Well, who else did you go to high school with? It was there's like a famous comedian that you went to high school with.
Well, God.
In Garden Grove.
Oh, Steve Martin.
Oh, no shit.
Really?
Well, I mean, I wasn't in his class, but we went to the same schools. Close enough, right?
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So, hey, Steve Martin, Armand Blais would love to have you play banjo in his band.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
He's a musician.
Dude, he's a badass banjo player.
Musician.
No,
That's right.
he's very musically inclined.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. He goes to the festivals and shit.
Well, no, he's like a really high caliber banjo player.
He's got
that's
even
crazy.
not only that, he's kind of got like a one of those, like, I don't want to say super intellects, but he's one of those dudes like really sharp.
Oh, dude, yeah. To be that quick with comedy, yeah, you got to be pretty sharp.
That guy,
and you got to be
amazing.
really
One of my favorite Steve Martin jokes. One of my favorite Steve Martin jokes. I'm probably going to butcher it a little bit, but it's in his autobiography, and he's talking about. It's like, I always suffer from confusion, but the worst case I ever experienced is when I asked my secretary to come help me inspect my new dictaphone, and my pants fell down.
Well,
that's a perfect.
But like, even with my dad, like, obviously, Jonny, you know that for whatever reason, I seem to find my way around a lot of different people. That are in different calibers, higher tiers,
natural
lower,
networker.
Natural networking. Well, my dad's the same way. Like,
I could imagine.
You
got it from somebody. You didn't develop that yourself.
No, and it's
You're not
crazy
smart enough
because
for
like
that.
I'm not. I'm a dum dum. But it's crazy because the people that I've grown up around, I never knew who I was growing up around until now.
Yeah.
Like, who have you had in the band?
The cool thing is that I used to be a honorary member of the Friars Club.
Okay.
Do you guys know what the Friars Club is?
Yeah, the roast
in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And these guys were real small when I was raising them, and I'd take them there on Sundays for brunch, and we sit on a table with Red Skelton, Nancy Sinatra.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, all those George Burns, Milton Berle. All those guys, and they had no clue.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever met Milton Berle. He was like, you could call me Uncle Milty. And I was like, okay. I don't fucking know this guy.
We're not blood related.
But then, like, I remember, like, seeing him on an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's Uncle Milty.
Bel-Air. That's how bougie I am. No, but I saw him on there, and I was like, that's fucking Uncle Milty. And he's like, dude.
All of a sudden, he's Uncle Milty. Huh?
Well, yeah, he's famous now. That's how family works, right? When you're famous, then it's like, okay.
Smoke stars.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
In the men's bathroom.
When you were 8, 9, 10? No.
Something like that. I remember the first time that you ever took me to, my dad had a vocalist at the time, and he was like, yeah, he is the principal on the Power Rangers.
That's crazy.
And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. He said that he plays the principal on the Power Rangers. And I don't know if you remember, but Bulk and Skull used to take that fool's fucking toupee and slap it on the wall all the time.
Yes.
That was right. We went to his house for dinner.
That's crazy.
You know, and he was trombone player. And the singer.
Nice.
Okay.
And I was just like...
So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was his side gig. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Which, by the way, sidebar on that sidebar, they filmed the intro to that at the, where the garden amp is in Garden Grove?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Bulk and Skull are walking through like the little fairgrounds. That's at the Strawberry Festival.
That's crazy.
While they had that set up, that's when they filmed that. So that was filmed in Garden Grove, which is why it's called Angel Grove.
Angel Grove.
That's right.
Yeah. See, dude, I think we might have just unlocked a good fandom piece of nerd trivia. Right?
Yeah, that's
there
pretty
you go.
cool.
You're welcome,
Clip it.
internet.
Clip it. That's good.
That's pretty cool.
But that's what my dad has always done. Like I don't know who we've grown up around, but he's had some big names like sit in like who else?
I had Connie Condoli on trumpet. Connie and his brother Pete Condoli were the Condoli brothers that played in the Johnny Carson Tonight Show band.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And we did a benefit show back at the Grand Hotel by Disneyland, which is it's not there anymore.
Okay,
but we backed up the Platters, and it was a really cool show. And we had George Roberts, bass trombone, world renowned. He probably made, I don't know, 80 albums with Frank Sinatra.
Wow.
And just the world's, I would consider him as the world's best bass trombone player.
Yeah.
He unfortunately has passed away now, but I used to take lessons from him.
Yeah.
And the guy was unbelievable. And, we'd have, I'd be telling my dad, oh yeah, we're going to play over here. And, I got this guy. You don't have, George Roberts. Yes, I do. He goes, well, how'd you do that? It's a funny thing, Dad. They have this thing called a telephone.
Yeah, and it's like the internet.
He's all, what's the internet?
It's just, I call these people up and introduce myself and say, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. You want to be part of it? Yeah. And,
wow.
Surprising how small the world can be in that way.
It's very small.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know Chester Whitmore. Chester Whitmore is from LA, and he owns the Opus One big band.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a world class
choreographer,
tap dancer, and choreographer.
Oh, you mentioned him last time. That's why the name sounds familiar. You did mention him, guys.
He did all the choreography for Whitney Houston and all his and Michael Jackson, all those high people. And in fact, right now this week he's in Thailand doing a Lindy Hop swing dance.
Nice. That's
crazy. The guy's phenomenal. I've got a photo of him.
There's a photo of him on, I think on my Instagram. It's me, you, and Chester Whitmore.
Yeah, this guy is he's tall and thin. He's skinnier than olive oil, if you know who that is.
From
From
Popeye.
Popeye, right? Yeah. But I've got a picture of him doing a 6 foot in the air, split straight across. His legs were, straight across.
Not impressed. I've done it.
Straight up in the air.
No big deal. I've done it. Whatever.
Wait, does he teach that? I'm trying to teach.
He does. He's the guy's amazing.
I'm trying to get my girlfriend lessons for that.
Yeah, only you want her to land here, right?
Yeah. It's a very specific
100%.
target in place.
Well, and without the balls. Or with the balls, whatever.
Whatever I'm into.
Yeah, Johnny's got different moves.
It depends. Yeah.
It's the new millennium. It's like
everything's free game these
right.
days.
You can push them in.
Whatever works, right? Yeah, so I've had the great fortune of meeting a lot of great, talented, well-known people. And, a lot of people say, oh, that guy's a snob, or the guy's, you can't talk to him. Did you ever try? Right? It's amazing because, people say, you can't go talk to him. Oh, watch this. Right? Because that dude puts his pants on one leg at a time, just like I do.
Yep. And I've heard that before.
Surprising element about
he has
the world.
Maybe, decades more experience than I do.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's how you learn, right?
This is what I've learned over the years is I've heard this specifically from a certain person, but I've heard it more from that person than just like throughout my, life. 90% of people are good people.
Right.
And they're going to listen to you at least.
Yep.
So when it comes to networking, if you know that, you just say what's up to somebody and you might open up a door that
I'm really
is
honored
a great
that you're
opportunity.
quoting me like that, man. That's really nice of you.
That was not you at all.
Well, and not only that,
You're
but
cynical as hell, no.
if you go up to somebody with like a sick ass mean mug face, like, hey, what up, dog?
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna want to talk to you. But if you're like, hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
He taught me that, yeah, they might tell you like, oh, you can't go talk to them.
Yeah.
Well, they told me that when I was on Mayhem Festival with David Draymond, the singer of Disturbed.
Disturbed, yeah.
Like, apparently it's in his contract. Like, you're not supposed to look at him. You're not supposed to speak to him. When you walk by him, you're supposed to look down. All kinds of weird shit.
That's
and
weird.
I honestly, I'm not sure if David actually put that in the contract or if that's something that management put that shit in the contract. Just to make him,
also
like,
the possibility it's like
up,
rumor,
But I remember one day I was walking through a tunnel and it was like underground in some fucking stadium, and he was walking through and I was walking right by, and there's nowhere else to go, and I looked straight at him and I was like, "Hey, what's up, David?" And he's like I feel like he might be a little bit of a nervous guy, but he was very sweet. He was like, "Oh, hi,"
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, like, there's video of me and him, for a split second.
Be honest,
in the men's room at Home Depot in the family bathroom.
Pierre, now be honest. When you said hello to him, was he like, "Oh, what? Hey"? Did he do that?
Yes, it was very turntable-esque. No,
like, "Hello, Pierre."
David was awesome. And so the person that he portrays himself as on stage, that's very much him.
Right, right. You think they put that into his like contract?
Sometimes I feel like management likes to put things in contracts to make the artist a little more like untouchable,
right?
Which is why I kind of feel like Jim Carrey is kind of going off on his little thing right now, but. Even with Jim Carrey, when my dad took me to the Friars Club, Jim Carrey was there, and this was in the 90s. So Jim Carrey was like the biggest fucking guy in the world.
Right.
So.
The cool thing is, growing up, I always listen to people say, "Oh, you can't do that, and you can't do this, and da-da-da-da-da," all this negative shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to play trombone. I'm going to keep that music alive, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's going to stop me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after so many years, Pierre is a little bit older. I said, I told the band, I said, "I'm going to go out and buy a bus." "You're nuts, Guess what? A month later, here I come driving up with a bus, right? And now I have 2 buses.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me too.
Yeah,
and it's real cool because, if you listen to all that negative stuff, you're never going to get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I always told Pierre and my other 2 kids as well, Vicky and Chris, you could do whatever you want to do in life if you want to do it bad enough. Right?
Yeah.
And don't let anybody stand in your way.
Right.
And my thing was playing music. I didn't care about schoolwork. I didn't get great grades except for in music. Right.
Right.
But my whole thing was all I want to do is play music.
Right.
My whole life. That's
so
all.
Drop out, guys. Children, drop out.
If you're listening to this,
you don't need it.
Listen to the Armand Blais Orchestra and smoke meth.
Forget geography. That's not
PSA.
You're not going to know where you are after a couple hits.
That's interesting though. Yeah.
To bring it back to, honestly, you were talking about how meeting all these stars, all these people that are like, when you're, it's clicking in your head as a kid, they're just normal humans, right?
Yeah, they're just.
So to take it back to like through that filter of like, let's say, from his perspective, if we all looked at the world more like that, from that perspective, I don't want to use the cliche from a child's perspective. I don't mean it in that context, but more or less like from
like a beginner's mind.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Where it's like, that's just another human, to interact with, and whether, they might hold themselves in high merit or whatever. If I go up there with the confidence that I hold up, high merit, they'll treat me probably just like another human.
Exactly.
That's
as long as you treat them how you would want to be treated,
Yeah.
That's like when I met Mos Def and got to hang out with him and picked him up.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. Like, he could have been Mos Def and I would have totally understood it, but he wasn't. He was very
just
much
a human
Actually,
guy.
we talked about you. Mos Def is like he's an actor, but he's also like a hip hop artist. He's like a legendary hip hop artist.
Yeah.
But he and I were in his hotel room because that's when I was.
See that?
See,
he's always in a hotel.
I'm always in a hotel room with a man.
I'm always going to the bathroom.
Networkers Supreme.
No,
it's not my fault. You raised me around 18 dudes. No, but like, you know, my dad always told me, like, speak to somebody like they're a person. Don't look at them in high regard or what echelon or whatever.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter.
And by speak, he means,
Are you Jeffrey in the microphone? You know, but like we spoke about you and he was like, oh man, you came from the big band world, you know? And I was like, yeah. And so like Most Def knows who you are, which is crazy.
That's pretty cool.
You know, but that's because I'm always talking about you, because if it wasn't for you, one, I wouldn't be here. And two, I wouldn't be a musician. Because I saw the example that you gave me and I really took to that because I really admired that. You know, that's why even with this podcast, like, you know, I wanted you to be on it so that you could speak to your artistry and your craft and all the things that you've done for not just myself and Vicky and Chris and everybody in the family, but for the 18 people and the interchangeable people within the band. You know, like there's been not just 18 people.
Yeah,
there's
I
been
can imagine.
hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people.
I do have questions on that, but keep going. Keep going.
And that's what's cool is like always seeing what new talent you bring in and what the band fosters, you know? Like the first time I ever wanted to play music was the first time you ever let me play music, and it was live at the Orange County Fair opening weekend.
Right.
Dude, we wore...
That's crazy.
My dad was like, hey, put this tuxedo on. It was like a little white tuxedo. And so we were matching white tuxedos.
Adorable,
You know, I think,
Maybe now,
how old
Johnny,
was I?
get pictures from Pierre and we
13,
put that over the
14.
podcast right
No,
now. In this moment.
I was younger than that.
I don't
I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, maybe. You know, but like anything that he wanted, like I wanted to do, like he would foster. Yeah, I wanted to be a clown. What did we do, Dad?
Well, you're definitely a
we
clown.
we went to clown camp.
Okay. Yeah.
That's tight.
For Ringley Brothers.
All right,
Yeah.
we got some balloons here. Let's I want to see the
Crazy.
proof.
Oh, dude.
He knew how to.
Make me a giraffe
make 'em.
now.
Yeah.
I was the balloon maker.
Hell yeah. That's funny.
So it was
never
cool
knew
because
that one.
yeah, dude, like there's a picture of us as clowns on graduation day for Barnum. Was it Barnum and Bailey or Ringling
Get the
Brothers?
pic, Johnny.
Brothers.
It was Ringling Brothers college camp across the
That's
street
crazy.
from Disneyland. And I still remember that's when Lion King came out. So they still had the Lion King parade. And I was hearing the Lion King parade while I was getting ready in my makeup and stuff.
That's why he grew this. You know.
Yeah. You
Oh,
know?
I get it.
So
That's
that's
crazy.
That's two pics we need to get a hold of: the white tuxedo,
the white
and
tuxedo.
the two clowns.
I don't know where I could get the white tuxedo, but
clowns.
that was cool because that was the first time he and I ever like had a solo together. You know, because I played congas in his band, and we did I did 2 sets opening weekend.
Probably.
It was two sets the first night, and then I think 2 sets the second night. You know, opening weekend at Orange County Fair was like 96.
No, yeah.
96, 97, something like that. But that's what made me want to do music, you know? And then just like...
And I taught him how to...
Real quick, what kind
roadie.
of stuff were you doing when you were young like that? What kind of what songs were you like performing and
Oh,
stuff?
I was performing whatever he had.
Okay.
You know, like I was performing my dad's charts.
Gotcha.
That's crazy. So you were basically reading music that young. Reading
I
the
taught
charts.
him how to...
Yeah.
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 That's crazy.
And the cool thing was that both Pierre and my daughter, Vicky, and my other son, Chris, that they were really, really small. They were like 4, 5, and 6 years old, loading up the back of my Chevy pickup truck with the
Free
gear
labor.
to go to a gig, you know?
That good old free American labor.
Yeah.
and
that was before child labor laws.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that from the Chinese.
Yeah. The only thing is he learned it and they still do it.
You just take little tidbits from them. And
Yeah.
They're over there still doing it.
Yeah.
To the fullest extent.
Yeah. At least he paid us a penny an hour.
So what part did you like better, Pierre? Would you say you like the labor or the music?
The labor makes money. The music is fun.
That's a good balance.
Yeah,
Just
half
strike a
then.
good balance.
So your band is the Armand Blais Orchestra, right?
Yes,
Is that what it's been since the beginning?
very beginning.
Damn. So
I figured if Glenn Miller can do it, so can I.
Right. So
Right?
you just keep it like that, and then just when members don't work out, you switch them out.
Yeah.
So how long you been doing that? What year did that start? That name?
So,
Because that's very interesting.
like 1988.
Okay.
That's when I was
When
born.
Pierre was really
2 years
shit.
after I was born.
really small, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really
And,
small. I wasn't even out of your nuts yet.
He's literally the smallest a human can be, the size of a
Some
sperm
people
microbe.
would say microscopic.
Some.
Squatters.
So talk about that more, Pierre. Being a sperm, what do you think about it?
You know, I really miss my tail.
It's funny
Yeah, I
because
was thinking one
it's
night,
more
you know,
on your face, not on your back end anymore.
I was thinking one night I've got to create I got to create a road crew, you know.
Yeah.
So, but there they are.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said, that free labor. All
No,
American
my
free
dad
labor.
looked at. He was like,
Takes a
you
little
know,
while, you know.
My dad said, "Yeah, that's a stage manager." God. Damn it! God, maybe the next one.
Shit, I just wasted that one.
Isn't it like isn't it a few thousand every time?
Yeah, if you're unhealthy, Jesus Christ, you're fucking.
Isn't that how it works? How much sperm is in each load? Would you say?
Like a couple terabytes worth?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot.
Yeah, not a floppy disk.
It's floppy in other ways.
After it's downloaded.
Now, is there? You think there's more YouTube videos than there is sperm per nut?
No,
That's
No.
good.
No,
That's
dude.
pretty good.
YouTube
No.
is
It's
definitely.
a good little thought.
Well, look it up. What's the sperm per nut?
Yeah, I should find AI. I'll find it out for you.
Per every ejaculation, how much sperm is in there technically?
It's several million, something like that.
Isn't it right?
Yeah, it's like several million.
How crazy is that? Only
Yeah, no, it's
one
like
gets through.
unfathomable numbers.
That's insane.
At least when we're talking about my count. Thank you very much. Okay.
Good thing you can't get eyes pregnant.
Hey, and we're not even talking about hair.
Oh man.
But yeah, no.
That's why Medusa had all those snakes on her head.
So back to the trauma.
Right, yeah. To musical topic. This is all. We cover the heavy hitting topics here on the Stool Podcast.
Now let's get back to the
Get the
whatever
heavy
stuff.
stuff out of the way, right?
So, Dad, how did you come about making your record, the first record?
So the first record was called Perseverance,
Okay.
right?
Hey, Breed.
Because
Ripped it off. We
I
can
like
prove
it.
it. We can prove it.
never give up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was recorded in a small studio in Westminster.
What year?
Oh God, 1991, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
And
I'm trying to develop a timeline.
It was a cassette, right?
Nice.
And then the next one was called Red Riff Master,
Mm-hmm.
and that was produced at the same studio. And we had we borrowed two 38 Buicks from the vocalist that I had at the time, and we recorded that or took videos of that at the Bridge of Cattleman's Wharf restaurant. I don't know if you guys.
Cattleman's Wharf is behind Disneyland where they shoot off all the fireworks. It's on the corner of Ball and West.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
not
it used to
there
be
anymore.
a club right there. And now it's the Hyatt or some sort of hotel.
Got you. Okay.
So
I'm with you.
We used to play once a week in the basement of the Cattleman's Wharf restaurant, and then there was
Going
another,
back to the basement shows.
yeah, and there was another group upstairs in the lounge,
Mhm.
and we did that for a long time, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, while he was playing at Cattleman's Wharf, my brother and my sister and we all found like underneath the building, like how to get underneath the structure through the lattice. So we moved the lattice and we would play under the building. They would have no idea.
And it wasn't haunted or anything?
It was for sure haunted. With
Okay,
the homeless people. And
Nice.
That's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you're going to bring up that kind of detail and not even have cool stories?
yeah. Yeah. The homeless guy, they would throw up in his own mouth.
Now
was
that is
fun.
just something I would like to see happen because I want to see the physicality of it.
Yeah.
That's like athletic.
Yeah,
It's
it
almost-
is until
It's an Olympic sport.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, these days,
should
anything, right?
Well, yeah, just like Olympic. What was it that I was saying earlier? Olympic.
Landscaping.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like, and Pablo comes through with the quarter acre.
would you look
He's
at
like,
that,
I
John?
don't-
Would you
I
look at
don't
that
know.
edging? Oh my!
And then it's just some dude on his couch, like, yeah, Olympic edging.
Oh my! I've never seen a rose pruned like this. It's just one of the most incredible prunings I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the Brazilians win it again.
And the gold goes to Josue. I want to thank my mother and my father
And Mr. Devin for paying me every week on time. Thank you, man.
You're a good man. You're a white man, but you're a good man.
You help my family. We got through all these things because you pay on time. You give me the money.
And then I sing
Don't
the
forget his son, Jose B.
Yeah.
Hosby.
Jose and
You helped
Jose.
me put Junior through college.
It was McDonald's College, but it was still college.
It was clown college, but it still worked.
Hey, don't knock it till you try.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. You know, I guess if the silver medal, you know, it's a guy named Juan. You know, he ends up number 2.
Yeah.
Is that
He
funny to
didn't
anybody
won.
else? He did not won.
He
He is
not
not
won.
number 1.
He was not the one this time.
He's not that one.
I want to believe it.
Wow. His
One
dreams
way or
do
the
come
other.
true. No, but what's crazy about my dad's first record is during that time, he was living in Huntington Beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he named the record. What was the name of the third record? Because there was Perseverance, there was Red Riff Master,
And the third one is Bypass Shuffle.
and what's crazy about Bypass Shuffle, from my perspective, is the fact that that's the first time I really got to see how many people love my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Because the story of Bypass Shuffle is the fact that, like, he was a heavy smoker. He was not in the best of health. He was a heavy drinker. And
Yeah, we don't do
His-
that. We don't
his-
do that here.
his neighbor, because he used to live on his boat, you know, and but he was the harbor master, so it's like the landlord, but for like boats, you know,
For-
boat slips.
Right.
The marina.
Okay.
So,
okay, right,
yeah.
right.
So one of his neighbors just so happened to be at the boat,
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody lives at the boat, you know. Everybody has their boat slipped in there, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of his neighbors ended up finding him on the dock, and he had like a massive heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And I just remember getting the call, like, hey, your dad is in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck? And that's when we found out that he had the heart attack. It wasn't a normal heart attack. Pretty much like
I don't do anything normal.
yeah.
Go for the top.
I was literally about to say, so you almost died of being cool?
Yeah. You know, he was
Go
so
big
cool.
or go home, right?
Yeah.
He
Literally,
committed to being a badass is all I'm hearing.
every one of his arteries was blocked.
That's crazy.
So his heart was like, yeah, fuck you, dude.
yeah.
You know, and so his neighbor found him. At the time, I remember my dad always saying, like, well, I don't have money for that. I don't have money for that. But he ended up in one of the best hospitals for hearts in Southern California, Hoag Hospital.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that was paid for by one of his neighbors,
Crazy.
you know? So that's just
30 days later. I
Yeah.
came out playing my horn.
yeah.
Nice.
30 days in the hospital, full open heart surgery,
Man.
everything. Like they reconstructed his entire heart. You know,
That's crazy.
and so that's why I think it's really cool the fact that his next record was Bypass Shuffle.
So it's a reference to your whole
to the surgery.
Yeah.
And so the way that came about is after surgery, after I get out, the band said, "Come on, we got to get back together." And I could barely breathe, let alone play my horn, right?
Right.
But anyway, just kept working at it. And Tom Kubis, who's a really good friend of mine, who's an arranger. The guy is phenomenal, lives in Huntington Beach. And so I commissioned him to create this album for us. And so it's all original charts.
Okay.
And he gave us the copyright to it as a gift to surviving. And, if you read the Inside Jacket story, it explains everything. But the theme song of Bypass Shuffle, when you get through it, through the center, about halfway through, you can hear the thump, thump, thump. And that's simulating my heart getting started again.
That's
Yeah, so there's like a breakdown in that song.
Dope as fuck, dude.
That's honestly one of the coolest inspirations
so
for
cool.
So like it's like
writing a passage I've ever heard. Yeah,
exactly. It's the drum breakdown and like the fucking drum solo part, and then you hear like it strikes, and every strike is dun 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 dun. And it's
that's
like
freaking sick.
That's them zapping him back to fucking life.
Right. Talk about writing from your heart.
Oh, hey.
Hey, let's play that. Is it the song Bypass Shuffle?
It is Bypass Shuffle.
Let's go.
Shuffle.
So
hear this.
Mick, if you go to your Spotify, you'll see it there. You fucking bitch.
I'm being nice to Mike today. He volunteered his time.
I know. Thank you, dude.
Sweetheart.
He said, I'll do it. I'll do it, guys.
Thank you. You fucking bitch. No.
That's not nice. Fucking bitch.
It's like we're required to do it. It's
I
like
know,
one of the
it's
things we
can't
do.
help it.
But
That's part of it.
Santa's not going to bring you anything.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
because he's also a
It
fucking
hasn't brought
bitch.
me much for a long time. Let's say that.
He's in our presence right now. We have to be nice.
So yeah, Tom Kubis is like he arranges charts for Disney.
He does all the arrangements for Disney.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he arranged
Holy
this.
shit.
Yeah.
He arranged the whole album.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
How
it's
long
all
is the album?
original. Sorry?
How long is the album? How long does it run?
It's about an hour.
Yeah.
We got time. We can run it all the way
Run
through.
some stuff, man.
No,
Run some
run it all the way
stuff.
through. Beginning to end.
I say go for it. We'll marathon this motherfucker.
This is so cool.
And this is all recorded live.
Right.
Yep.
This isn't like
there's no way to do it
individual
not,
tracks.
It's all literally one
This
take.
is all one take.
Yep.
Wow.
Most bands will, they take 15 takes and then take 8 months to edit it.
No, this is all
I
fucking
don't
live,
believe
dude.
that.
You guys just do it all the way through.
Do it, record it, put it in the can, let's go.
Wow.
Put it on
And
the
then
shelf.
do you guys
And we suck.
Right, no, absolutely. I don't even claim to be a musician when it comes to stuff like this. But when it comes to like playing stuff live, right? If like you have like set up a show or whatever, how do you choose music? Like do you have like
so
specific?
it depends on the audience or where we're playing, right? If it's a senior center, right, you're gonna play all the old standard dance music, right?
Okay.
That they're gonna remember. And it's really funny because we've been playing, I remember this one guy, he's like in his 90s. The dude he was in a walker, couldn't even barely stand up. And we started playing this, a true story. That dude got up off his walker and went and danced the whole chart just like he was 20 years old.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
was
Hell
cool.
yeah.
That was really
Honestly,
cool.
you know what you witnessed is a man who's been lying to his family about how lazy he is. He's literally just like, you know what? No one's looking right now. I'm going to go cut a
work.
rug.
I can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
That's a workers' comp thing right there. He's been trying to fucking drag out for 60 years.
No, you take out the trash. I can't do it.
I can't do it.
But what you did it, you unlocked that secret for
That's
him.
right.
Just no one was around. It was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Santa's not looking. He's playing right now. So.
Where's this part that you were talking about? When does it come up?
It's gonna be like, what's the time marker right
I'm
now?
very curious to hear what this sounds like.
It's gonna be. I think
It's at
right,
like
right after
four.
the sax solo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let that ride, man.
It sounds awesome. Just makes me want to snap.
Yeah, immediately this makes me just feel classier. If this is what's playing at my house when a woman shows up, like she's like, this guy has an intellect on him.
He's like, wow, I don't know what intellect means, but that sounds smart.
I'm expecting to hear the old champagne glass.
I think I need some wine right now.
Right.
Maybe an old fashioned.
Dude, it's wild because like all the things that I've been able to do in my life because of my dad, you know, like the first time I ever went to Catalina Island, I remember I cut my thumb on his razor blade because I was like, how does this cut my dad's beard? And I pressed a little too hard.
Wait, was this a straight razor?
No, it was one of the big first like
metal
razors.
Single metal bits. Yeah.
It was before they had 2 blades.
Yeah.
Now they got 3.
No, I think they're up to 17.
They got a lot.
Have you heard of Gillette? I mean, they're flying on all cylinders.
It's $55 for one cartridge.
It's stupid.
And they lock them up.
So stupid how
But
much
no,
they are.
I remember I filleted my thumb and I was like, oh shit. It just would not stop bleeding. He's calling me for dinner like, Pierre, where the fuck are you at? And I was like, I cut my thumb. And he's like, God damn it. The next day, this is it right here.
Oh, here we go.
yeah.
Here we go. Let's go.
You got to back it up a little bit.
Rewind.
Yeah,
Rewind here.
Rewind, be kind.
That's a great movie, dude. With Mos Def and Jack Black.
There you go. Shout out Mos Def.
Shout out Mos Def. And Thomas. Thomas.
And this.
I know it's your name. I know what the name really is, buddy. And that's him getting Zach.
And then coming back to
life.
Wow, that's cool. That's such a cool depiction of reality for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know?
And it just shows you too how much you could tell story without lyrics and things like that
Yeah.
with your music, you know?
Yep.
But what's crazy is had he not spoken to that, nobody would ever know that.
Right. Nobody
know?
would know that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
Because I would have just went over that part like, oh, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have know the background behind it, like the
Behind
what
the
inspired
story.
it. Yeah. That's
Behind
that's
the music,
great.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
and the weird thing was being in the hospital during the surgery. I mean, literally the true story, believe it or not. I was up here watching the surgeons fix me up.
right.
True story.
Mhm.
I went down the light tunnel
Mhm.
and it got to the end and they said, turn around and go back. It's not time.
It's not your time yet.
I swear to God.
That's
You know,
crazy.
it's-
Yeah. I believe that. I believe that. I've heard tons of stories of that same thing where it's you think it's your time, but it's really not. And you get a glimpse. You get a little glimpse of yourself outside of your body.
Yeah.
That out of body experience. So like you were your spirit watching. That's crazy.
Yeah. I was like telling the surgeon, no, a little more to the left.
Yeah.
He's literally being incredibly critical.
Yeah.
He's like, you're fucking it all up, man.
Here, let me grab your fucking hand, dude. He's like, why does my hand not work? And my dad's just like, you're gonna fuck it up.
I'm losing so much blood. What is this guy doing?
All the nurses think he's getting the yips.
That's crazy. Well, that's really cool. That's a cool.
Now that's one of the. I would say that's one of the. To me, we talk about this shit all the time, Mick. You know, talk about the purpose of writing music. What's the purpose of it? To me, I love writing music that expresses sentiment versus the music that's like got this commercial purpose to it. You know what I mean? Whether you want to make it for like in the background of a movie or a commercial or whatever. You know, I think the reason music actually exists is for stuff like that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Is to express sentiments like that. You know, I think that's where it is. You know, it might be lost on our current generation just because there's such oversaturation and so much music going around.
Yeah.
But there's a value to a piece of music that's the inspiration behind it. You know, there's a different inherent intrinsic value to that to me. You know what I mean? Artistically, like it'll sit special in my head now. You know what I mean? Just now knowing that story, listening back to that whole record, when I hear that part, it'll stick out and I'll be like, oh, this is the part where he's literally explaining how he fucking died. You know what I mean? That's important.
Well, and then you have the other track, 6 Foot Shark.
Oh yeah, 6 Foot Shark's cool because I was living on my boat and I couldn't work after the surgery. I couldn't do anything. I would literally just sit on the back of the boat with my fishing rod in there, and the only thing I catch in the bay was sharks.
It was sharks.
Yeah. So we named one of the songs, There's a 6 Foot Shark in my water. And listen.
Shout out to her being on a pitch with that
so
scream.
that's Melissa Palmer. She was the lead alto at the time. And so she screamed out that part.
It's like an on-pitch scream.
Yeah,
Did you guys catch that? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think she's teaching high school now in Lakewood.
That's awesome.
Music teacher. She's phenomenal.
It has that like Jaws fucking.
Yeah.
That's great.
Dude, the bass has always been so
Should
bad.
we
drummer like
should we recut a trailer of Jaws with this in it?
I know,
You
right?
know, like kind of a more lighthearted version of Jaws.
Yeah, it's just like everybody's having fun at the beach this summer. God damn it, Jaws. You did it again.
Up to his old shenanigans.
He's like fucking jumps out of the water and he's like,
He jumps out. He's like,
hey. Yeah, he even has the fins doing the baby shark.
That's great.
You know?
yo, this is awesome.
Well, you know, and the weird thing about when we recorded that night, the guys in the band said, you know, you really look like shit. Your face is all gray. Your skin's all gray. Are you gonna die? And I go, not until this album comes out.
Yeah.
You know, and we just did it.
And what's
How long
cool
did it
is-
take?
One night.
Yeah.
Oh
That's-
my
We
god!
recorded the whole thing in one night.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
That's so
all
cool.
the fucking,
That's
but
so cool.
That's what's fucking rad. That's what I've always admired about my dad and like his orchestra is the fact that they have charts. So like they can literally fucking play the song perfect the first time because they have the chart.
Yeah, they're right there looking at exactly the guidance for it. Yeah.
So it's
they're what I like to call real musicians.
Yeah, let me ask you: does it take more time to set up mics and all this stuff than it does to perform?
It takes forever.
Yeah, that's got to be a nightmare.
You know, it's a 4-hour gig, but it's a 16-hour day.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and what's cool too is like, you know, me now being a musician, being older, like being in Jambi, I remember I was rehearsing all the music when I was first learning it and being like, fuck, I fucked up that note. And my dad's like, you remembered all those notes and you're worried about one? He's like, my guys have been playing the same fucking charts for how long? And I'm like,
and they still need the chart.
Yeah.
You know? Like In the Mood, you've been playing it since the 3rd grade, for Christ's sakes. And now you're 70 years old and you still need the fucking chart. Like, come on, really?
yeah.
Oh, I can't find the second
I haven't
page.
played it for a couple months. What?
You know, but that's it's crazy because like having both the page and just the cognitive, like,
Yeah.
you know, ability to remember all that shit. Like he trips out on it,
Yeah.
you know, especially with the death metal shit when we were playing like the super fast. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck is that? Like, how do you remember that?
See, no, that's the other thing because you know this is a big kind of like I don't know. I guess there was I don't want to say it's two schools of thought. I don't know how to classify this, but you have people who function off of like chart music, and that's how you run. You could run an hour and a half, 2 hour set because you got all that in front of you.
Right.
And then you got musicians like, we talk about Between the Buried and Me, right? They don't got no
Love
music
them.
and they remember 2.5 hours of music, to play live. And it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild to watch them memorize.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
Those
thing.
guys are insane.
I know guys that know every single song from 1920s all the way up to the 80s, and it just, you could do a gig for 4 weeks and they're still playing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like, I mean, I memorized my whole book, which is well over 300 charts.
I can't remember
Right.
what happened
But-
20 minutes ago.
I think we were talking about dicks.
At least sperm.
Maybe,
Sperm
at
was
least
in there,
sperm,
right?
sperm.
Sperm was in there.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that has to do with dicks. So
Yeah, what comes out of that bell end?
The Olympic swimmers.
Oh, did we just discover a new Olympic sport?
I know that's pretty good.
How far can he jizz?
A literal pissing contest, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they got the guys out there with the marker plaque.
Yeah. He's like, all right, you got to try to get it to this face 300 yards away.
No, a face is a real motivator. If it's just some line, you know, a couple yards away.
It's just some chick yelling
Yeah.
at you like, you're a piece of shit. I fucking hate you. You can't
do
hit
it.
me.
You can't do it.
Oh yeah, bitch. All right. That'll motivate me. Yeah, I get
There
it.
you go.
No, I heard in the Olympics, I guess in 2008, there's going to be video gaming.
There
Now
better be.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
You're behind that?
I'm behind it. I'm a
I
gamer.
don't understand
I
how
thought
it's
you were a
how it's an
gamer,
athletic.
dude.
How is it an athletic?
It's cognitive.
It's your fingers.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fingers, but also, like he said, cognitive.
So-
that says
So
something.
why aren't we
But
rewarding?
we can't test them though.
reaction time?
But how are
why
you
aren't
gonna
we- if
you
we're-
got to test Olympic players? So what are they can't play on Adderall.
Ooh,
Yeah, you can
he
test.
brings up
Can you
such
test
a
for
good point.
Of course you can.
Okay.
It's called confirmation testing. Trust me.
He's all, I'm not going to explain how I have a personal relationship with it, but I do. But yeah, no, I think that's a weird thing. Because to me, okay, in my head, and maybe this is the wrong idea about it, but this
Everything
is how
you say
always
is wrong idea.
mostly, yeah. But in my head, this is how I've always interpreted the Olympics. It's literally just like the physical best of the best on the planet trying to be.
Yeah, that's
and,
true.
And trying to like
physical.
yeah,
best.
exactly. So just
Physical
trying to
is the main
to
word.
push these envelopes and do these things that we don't think humans are capable of. Do I think video games fall into that category? No.
No.
I think if you sit any 13-year-old in a room for, let's say, a month of 4 hours at a time, anyone could get good at a video game. I think
Right.
anyone could do it. I
get what
anyone
you're
could do
saying.
it.
I see that, but
That the second point sucked. The first point was good. Physical.
Okay.
Olympics has always been a physical thing.
yeah.
To me, I do agree with you on that part. So why wouldn't they, I don't know, expound on the Olympics and make
Because
like
you could go in any direction.
Electronic Olympics.
I know, but you could go in any direction. So if let's say we're sticking to the physical thing, and you're like, okay, cool. The point is, we're people who are good with
Yeah,
their
but fuck that.
but
You can push buttons faster. No, that's stupid.
yeah, exactly. That would be my
So,
point.
dude, they should make listen, America or the world. We're gonna,
Yeah, this is
we're
not
gonna,
just
we're
America,
gonna
buddy.
create.
It's
We're
not
gonna,
just America.
Yeah, I know it's not just America.
Yeah. What do you
We're gonna-
think about having Olympic Atari?
There you go. That'd be sick. No, but look at
Olympic
here. Listen
Who's
up.
better at Pong?
Listen up, world.
I want to sign up for Pac-Man.
There you go. But you can have an electronic Olympics, right? It could be video games. It could be like DJing.
I would say we have that. I would say we already have that kind of stuff.
I mean, I guess just
Introducing it into those 5 circles, those 5 rings, the Olympics, that whole thing that's existed throughout the humanity's history.
Yeah.
That's a weird
They're like,
thing to
hey,
me.
that's Hercules. He's really good at fucking Fortnite.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, have you ever seen this guy play Minecraft? Blow your mind.
he could build a whole house in 5 minutes.
Do you guys think it's
Yeah, you guys are right.
They're
That's
just
retarded.
playing on the thought of like it just says games, so it's Olympic games, so they're just using anything as a game.
Just the games, right? That's kind
That's
of
probably what
honestly.
it
I
is.
don't think you're wrong.
I mean,
on
the
that.
Olympics has become a joke anyway, so why not just?
That's
add
not
to it?
true.
Yeah, it
Didn't
is.
you see that amazing
Retarded.
display?
The breakdancer.
The best part was Gojira. That was the best part of the whole
Gojira
Olympics.
is fucking badass.
That's a moment of pride for all of us metalheads. You know it is, dude.
That's all it is.
For sure.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a big
thank
moment
you
of
to
pride
Lamb
for us.
of God for putting Gojira on.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, a lot of people don't realize that
Yeah, they're
Lamb
the
of God
guys.
is the reason why Gojira is where they are now, because Lamb of God brought them on like the
Tour.
first real tour.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
which is crazy because what up, Art? What up, Art Cruz? That's right. Art
Mhm.
Cruz used to be in Winds of Plague,
Yeah.
homie from Whittier,
Yeah.
from Southern California.
Right. Where we are.
Now he used to warm up to Lamb of God. Now he's in Lamb of God. So
That's crazy.
that's right.
Nice.
You know?
That's pretty dope.
But that's the same thing with my dad.
One
Like
of
my
our boys
dad
made
would
it.
always, want to do these events, and like they might be few and far in between, but everything that he does is like big time shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like roundabout, circling back to the entire Catalina Island story as far as the first time I ever went. The first time I ever went to Catalina was because you were having a meeting with who?
Chuck Liddell and the management
No
company.
shit.
Because we did
That's tight.
we did a ballroom dance over there in the Avalon Ballroom, which is the best acoustic venue that you could ever play in for as a live horn player.
Mick's gonna start
it's
coming
just
right now.
amazing.
I know you're talking his language right now. He's like, "Where's this?
Where's
Give me
this?
an
I gotta
address,
hear this."
please."
You know the giant
Shut your mouth, dude.
you know the giant circle building on Catalina Island?
That's the Avalon
That's
Ballroom.
the Avalon Ballroom. And the first time I ever went to Catalina was with my dad to meet with he was the GM? Or what was he?
He's the island promoter.
He's the island boy. But, and I'm like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old running around this fucking giant building by myself while he's having a meeting,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like insane to think about now
Mm-hmm.
what that building is, or like the fact that like it's hard enough to get a 4 or 5 piece band to fly across the world to go play somewhere. Somebody bankrolled you to go like
to Guam for New Year's Eve.
Oh
Guam?
my gosh, that's
Guam.
sick.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We were playing outside and Shauna and I was playing inside.
Oh shit! Did you meet Bowser?
How
I
sick
did.
is that?
Oh, that's awesome.
How sick
That
is
was an
that?
awesome trip. And it was we did the live show New Year's Eve, and then we did a 2-hour live radio show the next morning for the Islanders who couldn't afford to go to the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was really, really cool.
Damn.
Was
So
it nice
we-
out there? Would you say it was nice out there?
It was really hot and humid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it was nice. And to show you how insane I am, okay, these guys are small. I was raising them on my own. So I literally left LA with 2 $1 bills in my pocket to go to Guam to do a show, but came back with a ton of money.
Damn.
That's having a lot of guts.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's rolling the dice on yourself and winning.
Rolling the dice.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
But
and then when he came home, we had nothing to eat because he spent all the money on himself. Hookers and blow.
That's not true.
No, it's not.
He wish it was.
They weren't hookers. They were working women.
We don't use that word anymore.
We use escorts.
They
Is
were
the word.
maids.
Yeah, they cleaned the house at least. Kind of.
And they cleaned your
So
balls out.
you and 18 other swapping out individuals have made what 3-4 records? How is this just the 3 or
We've done 4
4 records
so far.
4 records.
We did a Christmas album.
Oh,
well.
nice!
Nice.
I'm working on my Christmas record this year. Actually, I'm going to put out my little. It's all just covers and then a couple original Christmas ideas. But yeah, I've wanted to do my whole career.
Ours were covers also, but Tom Kubas did the arrangements for them.
Nice.
So they're really sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
really
he has
cool.
the Charlie Brown chart.
Oh,
that's dope.
Yeah. So like
It's on Spotify.
it's on,
That was on
Play it,
Spotify?
Play
I
it
finally
now.
put everything that my dad has done with the exception of Perseverance. I put everything on Spotify because
Got you.
What up,
for the longest time he was like, Pierre, like my CDs. I'm like, Dad, no.
Nobody has
Nobody
CD
really
players.
has a CD player anymore. Most
Yeah.
people just stream this stuff. He's like, well, how do I do that? And I'm
Yeah.
like, look,
Got you.
I will do it for you. If I
Yeah.
could do it for other people and I could help other people, I'm going to help you.
We
because,
get it, Pierre.
you
You
know?
love your dad. All right.
Is there a reason? Is there a reason you didn't do Perseverance or you haven't uploaded Perseverance?
I can't find it.
It's on. Well,
It's on a cassette.
I have one copy and it's on a
Damn.
cassette. So I've
So
got
you need it
convert
digitally
over.
transferred.
Yeah, I have. To
I might be able
transfer.
to help you with it. I actually have the means to do digital from cassette from cassette.
Really, from the tape.
Yeah.
If you need help with that, I might be able to help you.
We just need to find it.
Oh,
find the cassette.
Find the cassette.
Yeah. So now this has turned into Tony Hawk.
This is national treasure, bro.
I have a cassette cover. But there's nothing inside.
Damn it.
I looked inside and you know what? It was Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
I found the cassette inside and fuck me, it was Tony Bennett. I don't know what the fuck.
Tony Bennett is looking at his CDs and his cassettes. He's like, fuck.
This was my first one.
Where did I put it?
But yeah, no, I mean, if you guys find it,
I'll find it.
Yeah, if you find it and you need it digitally transferred, I have a thing that can do
This
that.
is
that's cool.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
So this is going to start getting promoted this coming month.
Let's
Hell
go.
yeah.
Because September, everybody knows September is
Christmas
Halloween.
begins. Yeah, the
And
whole
if you
fall
have
season is
Halloween
all
coming
winter.
out, you better have Christmas ready to go
It's
before
all-
Thanksgiving.
Right.
On my parents' block, there's someone who's already got Halloween decorations
Oh,
up.
of course.
Damn.
Yeah. If not, then you're wasting your money.
Yeah.
And honestly, for the record, because this won't come out for a while, it is August 24th or something.
25th.
Right? 25th. So that's how far ahead of the game they are.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And my Christmas goes up the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
Lies. Your Christmas is already up because you never took that shit down.
I still got 2 trees up. My wife's going, take that goddamn thing down.
He's like, but it's already set up for next year.
My little secret is the LED lights under the rim around the house.
Mine
You leave them.
Mine
You
never
leave
come
them?
off.
Yeah, you leave
there's no
them,
point.
and then you're able to flick them on.
Yep.
Hey, if you could turn them colors, white for Thanksgiving, orange for Halloween, multicolored for Christmas. Let's go.
And red for that Nazi party.
That's right. When we're talking January 6th is when we throw it. No, but I personally, I'm the same with, I write like the week before Thanksgiving, I'll get all my tree out, all my stuff out, just because I like being in that mode as much as I could possibly be for that year.
Well, that's the thing too, is like you're not in that mode unless you put yourself there.
Right.
You know?
You got to get into the
Because those are the
mentality.
years where you're like, it doesn't feel like Christmas. Yeah, but have you done anything Christmas-like or Hanukkah-like or
Try.
Kwanzaa-like?
Make
or
the effort.
Heaven's Gate-like?
Whatever you're into.
Whatever.
We all celebrate
I like
differently.
Nikes.
We celebrate differently, all of us. All right.
That's great.
Bunk beds are on sale at Big Watts. Closing out.
Want to hear another track? Any just a random one you want to throw out, or anything you want to?
Whatever you guys want to do.
I mean, I want to hear more of your music, honestly.
Yeah, me too. Let's hear another one. Okay, so how much albums do you have on this? You have the Holiday. You
there
have
should
the
be 3.
Bypass.
There's three on this one.
So Red Riff Master. Actually,
let's
if
hear
you check
one
out
from
Red
Red
Riff
Riff,
Master,
yeah.
there's one from Orange County.
Orange County Fair.
Let's hear that.
Actually, that was recorded live at the Orange County Fair.
No shit.
Oh shit! Let's
Yeah.
hear that.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear
And
that.
you guys remember the I Love Lucy show?
Yes. My mom is a huge I Love Lucy
think it
fan.
was-
was
Ricky
the
Band?
Flintstones.
Trumpet player was my lead trumpet player.
Wow.
No shit.
That's
His name
crazy.
is Terry Baylor.
No shit.
And,
What
and I
the-
announced him on the album.
I'll tell you
Live.
this right now.
Yeah.
Growing up
That's
during the summers,
crazy.
daytime television, as soon as that music came on, I knew I was changing it to another channel for cartoons. but I was an 8-year-old. I was an uncultured swine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
the Flintstones.
I've grown to love I Love Lucy.
Yeah,
I
but the
love I Love
Flintstones
Lucy.
live. This was at Orange County Fair 96.
96.
96.
That's awesome, man. So this is all live.
all
This is
live.
100%
That's so
live, right?
sick,
Well,
dude.
not the entire record, but just this
It's a
track.
song. Okay, this one specifically.
Yeah,
That's really
sick.
cool.
yeah. You're making that dumbass face.
I was doing it for the camera.
Yeah, it's always for the camera.
You gotta do it.
You gotta make
Turn
that
it
face
on,
with
man.
your
Turn
chick.
Who would you say?
I do. She hates when I get immature, dude.
Orange County Fair. We're glad you stopped in this evening. We're gonna do a little bit of jazz and a little bit of big band from the 1940s.
Who's that talking?
That's
me.
him.
That's you, yeah.
All right.
To introduce the band on piano, Mr. Steve Hager. Tenor sax, to my right, your left, Mr. Lyle Heck. Mr. Bill Savage, Mr. Jim Baylor on lead.
Jim still plays in the band.
Oh yeah.
Mr. John Grandma Albritton.
John Grandma Albritton?
Yeah, we need
Stop.
to.
Pause it. Pause it. Pause it.
Very sad.
Explain the nickname.
So we nicknamed him Grandma because he was always late to the gig. The son of a bitch will show up like 2 minutes before downbeat, right? And then as soon as our last note hit for a break, he goes into the kitchen and he's in at a restaurant or a club where it doesn't matter where, and he's in the ice cream. Like, what?
Just like my grandma.
Yeah,
Just like
right.
my grandma.
That sounds like heroin,
so
baby.
we named him Grandma.
I know what my nickname's gonna be now. Damn it! I'm late to everything.
So that's John Albritton?
John
That's
Albritton.
great.
That's hilarious.
Go ahead, play it. I thought that was a good aside, man.
All the
That's
way
great.
From Germany, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Adams.
Whoa.
And in town for a short stay, world-renowned.
Yeah, he's
bass
passed
drum
now.
player,
Oh, no.
Mr. George
Good friend of mine.
That's crazy.
He came out from Germany.
It was
In our
Oh, it was a little kayfabe.
yeah.
Ah.
on lead trumpet, formerly with the Righteous Brothers.
It's just
and
wild,
also
like-
for those of
I
you
love that
remember
bass.
I Love Lucy show, the Little Ricky Band. You're looking at Little Ricky, Mr. Terry Baylor.
That's sick.
Like, it's just like all these people that I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that an upright bass?
Upright bass.
Yeah.
It's all
It's all double bass.
Yeah.
How do they mic that? Is it a live mic?
Steve Anderson.
Some of them have a pickup on them,
Nerd.
Oh wow.
and then or we'll mic it.
Yeah.
On bass.
Yeah, there's a little pickup switch that you could put on them like now, but I think during that time it was just live mic.
Yeah, just
That's
mic
crazy.
it.
So we're talking about running close to 20 mics
Yeah.
on a
No,
stage.
no.
It's
Oh, 'cause
you
the
gotta
drums,
remember
too.
drums.
So-
Oh yeah.
Drums. It's kick, right? But it's not just single. It's not just kick out.
Inside,
It's kick
outside,
in,
chill.
right? So that's 2. Then snare top, snare bottom. Tom
toms.
1, tom 2, tom 3, floor tom, overhead 1, overhead 2, plus
Ambient.
hi-hat. So that's 10 just for the drums.
Plus you got
Jesus,
6
man.
mics for the saxophones, 4 mics for the bones, 4 mics for the trumpets, and then 3 overheads over the whole band.
Plus, there's still the
Bro, we're
DIs
we're
for,
at 30, 34, 30,
for
40
the
mics,
fucking
bro.
for the piano.
That's
Then there's the mic for the bass. Then there's his microphone. You know, so yeah, we're looking at like 35.
that's crazy.
That's a minimum of
The
The
sound
minimum
guy's
is
like,
35. Yeah, he's just like, fuck, I forgot to label everything. Oh, I think it's this one.
Just a sound guy who doesn't speak. He
No.
doesn't speak. He communicates through the vein in his forehead.
Yeah.
You know
It
what I
just
mean?
starts
It's like everybody-
pulsating.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that must be mic 3.
It's fucking pulsating in Morse code.
Yo, the sound guy is going through it again. Just leave him alone. He'll be good.
Yeah, all that
sound guy
blood
is
that's just spewing out of that fucking vein. Don't worry about it.
The
It's
sound guy is on
normal.
threat level.
That's
Threat
just the
level
bass
orange.
mic.
Threat level orange with the sound guy.
That's freaking nuts.
Now that sounds
Yeah.
to me. I mean, I know that's what goes behind all this kind of stuff, but you got to understand you're talking to musicians who've kind of Mickey Moused what we do our whole career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've figured out shit as we go. And I know me speaking, like the interface I run off of right now is only 4 inputs. You know? You know, and I make that work for my whole setup and recording and doing my whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like thinking about that kind of mixing setup is wild.
That's
Well,
crazy.
and here's the thing, you know, people go, when I give them a price, they go, oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack, right? Yeah. Why am I paying that much money? You're not paying for the music,
Mm.
right?
It's all
You're
the-
not. You're
all
paying
that
for me
setup,
to
man.
open my garage, load the bus, take it to the show, unload it, set it up, 40 microphones. That's what you're paying for.
So,
Playing is the part you enjoy.
That's right.
Everything else in between is the work.
so you guys are miking your own stuff You guys got your own sound guy.
Oh, he has the whole show.
I have my own sound system.
I didn't think about
I have
that.
my own lighting system.
Jesus, that's the way to do it.
Carry it all.
Yeah. It's the way to do it.
Shit. So
my own drum platform that I built.
But that's how you get bigger guarantees when you're a self-contained package.
Yeah, no. Then you could give people a square number of this is exactly how it costs, to get to this place, A to B, with all the stuff that I have set up. This is what it costs, and a lot of. I don't think that's a level I've ever operated on. Is like, most of the time I rely on a house system.
Yeah,
and that's the funny thing is one, there's 18 people, right? Just in the band.
That's we not still including haven't even cracked into that much.
That's not including crew.
I don't know what you're paying 4-year-old kids to hold here, but
sound
guy is your sound guy. It's not the house's sound guy.
No, it's not house sound guy. Yeah,
it's Pierre.
It's me.
Yeah.
Hi. But unless we put that in the contract, you have to provide, because we do put that in the contract. It's you either provide the sound, right, 100% with an actual audio engineer, or we will bring our sound and
which will cost more, but
which will cost more, but we got it.
Yeah.
So either you go with less money, costs incurred on you,
or you do it right.
We do it. But either way,
that's what it was like in Guam. They produced all the sound, the lighting, the engineer, the rhythm, the drum kit, the bass.
Yeah, so the whole backline and all of it.
Fly the horns over. Wow. That's it.
Wow.
But that's the whole thing. Is it doesn't matter if we still cut costs that hard. He's still not cheap. Because you have to think about it. That's 18 people that are not 18 years old that are currently going to cost that much. It's they need to make their money. Otherwise, what's the point of them leaving the house when they can make more doing something else?
It's a gig. That's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? As much as it's
but it's an experience.
Yeah.
It's not just a normal show. So
So all right, getting into that with you said you've swapped members several times. We don't have to get into the specifics or anything, but let's go. Who sucks to work with? Names. No, I'm totally kidding. But
no, but see,
what facilitates? I would ask, what facilitates the smoothest process for you?
So for me, I want to hire musicians that are better than me, right? Because that produces a great show. I want to hire people that are going to show up on time.
I'm out.
Except for Grandma Albritton.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's an exception.
He's an exception.
He's that good.
He's been since day one.
Oh, yeah,
he's my dad's high school homie.
That's so fucking cool.
He's still there.
How cool is that?
But I don't want to deal with musicians that have egos.
Yeah,
I don't have time for that. I don't.
Anthony's out.
If somebody, you just don't call them back.
Right.
And that's the same philosophy that Gordon Goodwin has. He actually makes his guys sign contracts.
Crazy.
That you're going to be on time. This is what you expect. This is what I expect of you. And
I respect the fuck out of that though.
You have to,
you make
because
someone sign the contract and you get that level of commitment up front.
Well, that's a band member agreement. That's the what I told you about a while ago. Is having a band member agreement These are the terms and stipulations that I expect. It's just like a job.
Right.
When you sign up for any job,
don't get any ideas, Mick. Don't get any ideas.
Get all the ideas.
I would say it honestly, but I would say it's a good precedent to set if you're really trying to make that thing serious.
Yeah, if you're trying to be a professional band or professional anything, you have to be on time.
And that's why, there's been several...
He's getting beat up right now.
I'm sorry we were late today.
Yeah.
You weren't even late like Jonny is, dude.
Yeah, and by the way, I didn't raise advise him to be late. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, my ADHD did.
Like, if you're not,
No, I chalk it up 50% to the art of podcasting. You know, the idea is like no one's like going to be like, oh yeah, it's like we got to take this seriously.
No, and we do, and we did, but you know, I severely underestimated.
I mean
traffic.
that as a blanket
Traffic,
statement.
On a
What time did you
Saturday?
show up? What time did you show up,
It's a
Jonny?
Sunday.
Oh, even worse.
No, legit. I was driving over here and I was like, why is there freaking traffic today?
I know, it was
usually
insane.
the reason why Sunday works so well for me and Mick is there's usually no traffic. We did it on Fridays. Everyone like we started using Fridays, but I was getting here. It took me like an hour and 25 minutes to get here, and I was like, Mick, I can't do this, bro. This traffic is fucking killing me. Let's go back to Sundays. We switched it back to Sundays because the work schedules worked, and it's been great. But today I was like,
You know what,
Why
though?
is there so much traffic
It's
today?
because it's after the time that church gets out.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you
Makes
got to
sense.
do it before church gets out. That way we're blasphemous.
I've been telling these guys 4 a.m. podcast for the longest time. None of them are on board. None of them are on board. I don't know why.
straight over from the club.
Hey, why are your eyes dilated? Don't worry about it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Run the mics.
Let's just
go.
start talking.
I could talk all day, I swear.
Thee Stool After Dark.
We've discussed this as the Patreon content.
Yeah,
we
that
have,
would be
you know?
pretty fun. Yeah, we might have to do something like that. Some really crazy style freaking.
Yeah,
Dunce.
Pierre has to come back on as like our fourth mic for that one, just because he fits in really well with that.
Yeah. the Stool After Dark. We might have to do that.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun, actually.
It'd have to be after a lot of the stuff going on.
We have to be under the
As long as we
influence.
can maintain a vibe of like early 1990s MTV after 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we'll get Pauly Shore. Pauly,
let's do it.
we
Let's
need
do
you
it.
on the show. So when I go to the Comedy Store the next time, I will talk to you about
Not
this.
trying to
Or
speak out of school. I bet he'd do it.
Yeah, Frank Castillo, George Perez. Fucking.
You told me about George.
Yeah, George is Cholo from Santana.
Yeah, he was telling. He's like, we got to get him on the pod. I'm like, let's get it. Let's do it.
We got to get George's homies too. You know, the Filipino. We need
down.
you. I know you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, there's a lot of homies at the Comedy Store that I think would be really cool on the podcast.
Yeah,
too.
that'd be
But
fun.
That's why I wanted to bring my dad to the Comedy Store, because
Yeah,
I
great.
know that like I already know people would look at him and be like, this fool knows what's up.
Yeah, great stories. Honestly, great insight.
Yeah,
honestly,
this
to
has
me,
been
I could pick your brain, you know,
All
about
day.
like let's say like the live element, the recording element, the longevity element. Even
That's
I
the
gotta
crazy part.
I'll put my foot down there and say talk about that for at least a little bit. Like
Yeah, 30 plus years.
Yeah, being a musician for that long. What's that like? Especially just to, because I know we have musicians and people who are aspiring to do this as a career listening. So what would you say to those people as like doing it continuously for this long? Like what's your sauce? What's your...
Just be persistent, go after what you want, and don't expect to make a living.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't expect to make a living on the music itself.
Hate to make this joke, but says the guy who has 2 buses.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
okay, buddy.
Here's the
Okay,
thing.
buddy.
He's in sales.
But you know how I got those buses? Because I sell caskets.
There. Oh wow.
Yeah. Everybody dies.
Booming business.
So
I've been working in the mortuary for 40 years.
Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so
he actually, I remember, and this was a crazy story too. He actually came home one day. It was mid 90s, and he goes, "Hey, do you guys know who Bradley Noel is?"
Oh no!
And I was like,
no
"What? Who?"
fucking way.
He helped bury Sublime's singer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he came to my house. And you want to hear something?
Westminster Memorial Park.
You want to hear something really fucked up, Dad?
That's fucking crazy.
Because I was working with Spooky. What's up, Spooky? Transillions. I went to a show. It was a Sublime like secret show, right? And I met Bradley's son, who is now the singer of Sublime.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, I want to tell him that my dad buried his dad.
Is that weird?
But I thought that was super morbid and fucked up.
It wouldn't be
but
weird.
at the same time, I was like, we're connected, bro.
It wouldn't have been.
He's like, cool guy.
Honestly, Pierre, it wouldn't have been weird at all if it was just the first thing you mentioned to him in meeting him.
Well, that would have been the first thing because I never met him. So I was like, hey, my dad buried your dad.
I don't see why that would be weird. I think that would have been a good open.
But you know what? Every person that I know that is super into Sublime, I show him where he's buried because he showed me where he's buried.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that is wild.
Is that not common
The world
knowledge?
is small.
No, it's not. Do you know where he's buried?
I don't know where he's buried.
Exactly.
I know
so then
now.
he's not fucking calling.
Well, I know now, and he just told everybody.
But
so
do you know where the burial plot is?
Where?
Do you know where it is?
We might have to be doing some beeping.
He's buried in Westminster Memorial Park.
But you gotta find it.
Yeah, but you gotta find it. It's next to the mausoleum on the right side of the park.
Can we have a Thee Stool Podcast field trip over there?
Yeah, hell yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take it down there.
We'll take a bus tour.
Yeah.
On one of your buses.
On one of his buses.
We're gonna put that in writing. We're gonna put that in writing. I want to ride on this bus. Let's go.
All right, you guys pay for the fuel, and we're gonna go.
We got it.
Is there any other songs that you would say are standouts in your memory from your catalog that like you want us to?
We can
throw
outro
here?
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
I like them all.
Yeah, they're
It's
your
just,
songs, right?
Yeah, well, not the covers,
Performances, but yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about my.
Yeah, he has original charts, but not every song is
Right.
is one of his.
Mm-hmm.
What's one of your originals that you would say stands out to you?
Well, besides Bypass, 6 Foot Shark,
Without a Dream.
Without a Dream, What's the Point of Living?
Cue it up.
I love that.
Cue it up.
I love that. By the way, I got Sublime lyrics tattooed on my shin. You guys can't see it, but shout out Sublime.
Who gets lyrics on them? I mean,
This
that's
fucking guy.
stupid.
Well, you know, it'd be even cooler is tattoo his grave space on your leg.
Yeah,
That'd be sick, dude.
direct like actual coordinates.
Longitude, latitude.
And we don't make fun. We're not making fun of your dad, dude. Like, I'm just saying that we're connected because your dad passed away, but my dad is the one that buried
Pierre,
you.
you think he's gonna actually see this?
Hey, he might.
He's definitely
What's his
watching
name,
right
Jacob?
now.
He's not gonna see
Jacob.
this.
Yeah,
He's just not
Jacob.
gonna
Hey,
see this.
Jacob. No, he will. Because here's the thing, Jacob.
He's a cool guy.
One, he's really cool.
Yeah.
Two, he's really fucking good.
He is really
He
good.
sounds
All
just
I've
like
seen
his
is
pops.
all I've
Just
seen
like
is
his dad.
videos, and I'm incredibly impressed, bro.
Yeah.
I when the whole Sublime with Rome thing happened, I was like, cool,
yeah.
Sublime's quote unquote back. When I saw videos of his son, I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That shit, like because we walked in, right? We walked into that show and we had no tickets to get in there. Spooky Ruby and I, and we got in there, and the only reason why we got to stay in there is because my buddy Bill Black, he's the front of house engineer for Fishbone, but so he was there because HR and Quintilla and all those people.
Did you say HR?
HR from Fishbone.
Oh, okay.
Not
Right.
HR from other people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, not
Gotcha.
that one.
I thought you were talking about the homo retard department, but go ahead.
I literally thought you guys were referencing human resources. But
Well,
whatever.
that's so HR the band, HR.
Yeah.
But just seeing his son back there, and I was just like, this is super full circle, and it's super full circle because my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad is the reason why you guys know me.
Right.
So for you guys to be able to meet my pops and pick his brain
I think that's
and
great.
hear his music and hear his story and who he knows and all these things, it's super insane to me.
On the shoulders of giants, man. Honestly, that's one thing that like I was really excited when they told me, that you're bringing in your dad. I was like, dude, let's fucking go. Like it's an element of music that we haven't really cracked into.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's to me, it's something I personally, I don't want to say aspire to because I'll never be in a big band. I'm not going to, say that, but goddamn, is that a dream? You know,
How cool is that?
be part of a like 15 plus musicians.
Well, and
just,
that's
like,
the thing.
Looking at each other while you're playing,
think,
nailing a piece. Like that's gotta be
you may
incredible.
never think that, but you know Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Mogwai.
Yeah, Mogwai.
Mogwai. What's up, Mogwai?
It's one of the sickest drummers out here.
All right. So Mogwai actually played for my dad's orchestra.
What?
It was a fucking Valentine's Day show. And
sick.
he didn't read charts. He just fucking
We're talking about a hardcore deathcore death metal type drummer.
He plays drums and gouged, which is a death metal band.
That's fucking
But he
sick,
played
dude.
drums with me. Like I showed Mogwai how to read drum charts because I was going to school at Citrus Community College. And I showed him how to read drums. And from there, I was like, dude, you got to play for my dad's band. And my dad was even like, can you hold a beat? And I was like, yeah, dude, he can. He's like, all right.
Like,
So
can
it
he
was
hold
cool
a beat? He can hold 400 beats per minute.
Like, what was that show like working with Mogwai?
It was definitely different.
Yeah.
Really? Different types of drummers, right?
Yeah.
You know? Different types of
That's so
percussionists.
crazy.
You know?
Yeah. So my best drummer, and I still, you know, I'm able to work with him once in a while. His name is Jimmy Ford. And he's a drummer at Disneyland. He's been at Disneyland forever.
He plays in the Straw Hats.
And you told me about you told us on your show that you were on. You mentioned that.
Yeah. And he has his own drum company called Ford Drums. He makes phenomenal drum sets.
He makes fucking badass drums.
All handmade.
That's sick. Wow.
Hand lacquered. Just, hey Jimmy, how you doing?
Man, we know you're watching, Jimmy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the view.
The guy is phenomenal. He's all over the place.
Well, what's funny is the first time I ever took Trinity to Disneyland, it was Mother's Day. So I took Jackie and the kids and Jackie's mom, right? And we walked on Main
Gotta have
Street.
the mother-in-law, you know.
Yeah, of course. Mother-in-law or bust. But I took them
That's
all
a bumper sticker. I know that somewhere.
Right? Mother-in-law and bust. Anyways.
Not while I'm drinking. Not while I'm drinking.
Got milk?
But I took them, and the first time Jackie ever saw Jimmy was playing, and I was like, oh, let's go watch. And Jimmy sees me and goes, and he's playing, and he puts his drumsticks down. He comes over and gives me a hug and goes, hey, Pierre. Oh, man, it's great to see you. And Jackie looks at me like, what the fuck? How do you know everybody in the fucking world, Pierre? And I'm like, that's my dad's drummer. And she's like, of course it is. Of course that's your fucking dad's drummer. Because everybody that does anything is somebody to you. And I'm like, it's not my fault.
The music world is incredibly small, and the more we do this podcast, the more I'm learning that, man.
Right?
We talk to more and more people, and it's like, oh, you know that person. And oh, shit, I know that person. But it's wild.
And that's why I like the fact that, like, I've been able to, you know, help find talent to put on your show. Like, you know, Matt Mayhem, thank you for the shout out. You know, like,
that's the homie.
And Mark Vasquez, obviously, duh. You know?
Buddy.
But like,
and it's funny because Mark knows Brandon, and we had Brandon on. I've known Brandon since I was like 15.
And you know what's funny about that is my next door neighbor that I didn't even fucking know knows music also had a show with a Wookiee in his backyard. You know, so
it's crazy how
Carlos,
small
next
this
door
world is.
neighbor, what up though?
We know
but
you're
he
watching.
also
Shout
knows
out.
fucking Brandon.
That's
you know,
crazy.
You know what you guys should do, and I can hook it up if you're interested.
Yeah.
Chester Whitmore. You gotta have him
dude.
here.
You guys
Whitmore.
need to have Chester Whitmore in this shit
That
because
would be insane.
he's done all the choreography for fucking
Whitney
who was it?
Houston, Michael
Whitney-
Jackson.
That was what you're saying.
and
Gotcha.
Weird Al.
Oh,
shit.
shit.
He's done all the shit for Weird Al.
Let's
so
do it.
Chester
Yeah.
Whitmore, Armand Blais, I'm telling you, you come here, please have fun. I know you will.
If you're into it, come down,
Oh,
please. We have
Chester's so
1,000
cool.
questions
Chester
for you.
is such a cool dude.
Yeah, we're down for it for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. We got dates open. We're ready to
Yeah,
go.
let me know, and I'll definitely. He should be back from Thailand probably another week or so.
Nice.
And,
Okay. That's perfect.
I'll
That's perfect.
definitely get it hooked up.
Okay.
All,
No, we're
all
super
all
down
of
with
that
that.
being said, is there any other stuff you're working on or stuff you want to plug or you want to kind of throw out
Yeah.
there to share?
Well, I just, I'm big on keeping the music live. That's what I'm all about.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Like Goodwin's band, totally different caliber than our band. But I totally respect him because he's still putting the music out there. And he has nothing but the top LA musicians.
That's fucking sick.
I mean, these guys
close out with that, Mick.
These guys are phenomenal,
Gordon Goodwin.
Wayne Bergeron on trumpet and Mike Roca on trumpet.
Just actual musicians, real ass musicians.
Yeah. Frank Torres. Actually, Frank Torres is a trombone player, and he was just a wet kid behind the ears playing in my band years ago in a park in El Dorado. And then now today you can't touch him. He plays in all the Latin bands, and he's just turned out to be a phenomenal musician.
But that's what I'm saying with my pops. He's a lot like me, where we know a lot of people.
You just find
We've
the people.
fostered a lot of talent.
Yep.
And they progress on, which is great. And we're the people in the back. We're the people in the cut that gave them an opportunity to fucking forge that foothold.
It's the old thing, you can't get a job till you have 2 years experience, but you can't get the 2 years experience without getting a job, right?
Right.
People would always call me. They go, I want to get in a big band, or I want to have an opportunity. Even like junior high school kids, right? I had this girl that was like, she was like 12 years old, right? And she wanted to have an opportunity. Come on, I put in the Orange County Fairground show, right?
That girl is Taylor Swift. No.
Yeah. But, I believe in that. And fostering musicians, give them a chance.
Oh, no.
Oops.
That's all right.
I knew you'd break it.
We're adjustable.
There you go. It's all right.
But no, I mean, I find all that shit fascinating, man. The world is way smaller than we give it credit for.
Yeah.
The idea that, you have just even, young 12-year-old musicians reaching out like, hey, I have this thirst to do this thing.
Yeah.
And that's important to me, man.
And not a lot of people will do that.
Not at all,
But,
dude.
like,
most people will just practice in their room and by themselves for their whole life.
And I won't know how many people I really touched until he gets up and speaks at my funeral.
Yeah.
That's
then I'll be like, my dad touched me. But not like that.
How ironic and hilarious of a moment is that?
That would be amazing.
Tears in your eyes.
Like, my dad touched me.
And you're not able to speak. You're choked up. You can't speak after that to cover up the words. My dad touched me.
In a very special way.
Everyone's like on bated breath, like waiting for the rest. Like,
yeah, they're like,
okay,
maybe this gets better.
Yeah, there's definitely more to this sentence. He's holding on. He's trying to finish.
He's doing it for hopefully emotional value.
on that joke, we'll close out.
Absolutely.
That's been a great episode, man. Honestly, all the insight, we could probably pick your brain for hours.
Yeah.
This is a blast, and I really want to thank you guys and really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, it's been great,
out
man.
here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
100%.
you for just getting a different perspective on what we are used to in the norm of our age group, what we're used to. Like, this was something different, and learning a different genre, of music, but at the same time, a different decade of music. Right. And we learned a lot from it, But
I'm hoping that for even that, it shows that it doesn't matter what decade, it doesn't matter what genre.
Music is timeless.
All assholes.
I was gonna say yes, we're all musicians, but yeah, you're right.
It's all about keeping the live music going,
right?
And being assholes.
Don't talk to me about DJs, because without the live musicians,
you want to do episode 2? We'll talk to you about DJs.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll talk to you about DJs if you want another hour and a half of talking about it.
We'll definitely get you on another podcast for sure. This is fun, super fun. I mean, I think we've talked about a lot of things, got a lot of insight on you and what you do. Definitely, you guys make sure you follow, and I'll link it. I'm gonna put a link somewhere. around here. Armand Blais Orchestra. Make sure you guys check it out.
I think it's Armand Blais Orchestra Official on Instagram.
There you go. I'll put the little link.
Yeah.
What is our tagging unofficial?
Taggy.
You know what I
Tagging
mean?
the unofficial
What are they
one?
gonna do? Unofficial. I'll tag. I'll do like my band's name unofficial. What are you gonna do?
There you go.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and plug it up. So is there any other links or anything else that you want people to check out?
Just check out the big band. Check out Gordon Goodwin.
Spotify, YouTube, all that stuff.
Yeah, Spotify. He's on Spotify. I made sure that he's on Spotify. He's on YouTube.
So check out
He's
Armand,
on all of it.
Armand Blais Orchestra.
And reach
on
out
everything.
if you. I'm not even joking. Reach out if you find that cassette. I can help you put it to digital. You guys get that shit uploaded, man.
I definitely will.
That'll be sick. Mick, give us your plugs, dude. Let's get it.
Okay, Mickstradamus on Instagram, at Mickstradamus, Mickstradamus.official on TikTok. New single out, Lullaby, right now.
Lullaby?
Sick.
We got new. Did you say anything for the Dunce yet?
No, go ahead.
New EP coming out next month, guys. Followed up with releasing with a new music video as well. Looking forward to that. Been working very diligently on that. And I'm just going to be the bitch and just pass it back to Jonny.
Anthony, go ahead.
Okay, so I guess I'm going.
Yes.
No,
Give
leave it on Johnny's cam for my plugs. Just leave it on Johnny's cam.
Leave it on me for his plugs and
All
put
right,
on him
Why
for
don't
my
you just
plugs.
mimic his voice?
Right, yeah,
There you
do
go.
Johnny. I'm serious. Do Johnny.
Yeah, I got you.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so this is why we have fun. This is why this is fun. But yeah, Uncle_Energy is my own personal page. Follow that because I update a lot of stuff on there with shows and stuff. Nerd_Worthy is my other podcast and Instagram page where I cover all kinds of geeky 90s culture, 80s culture, all that kind of stuff. And then follow my band Dead Widow. We have a show on September 7th in Palm Springs. We have a live stream that we're doing for DM Tower Sessions. DM Tower Sessions, full hour live stream. We're doing all the music that we play, as well as a couple of covers. And it's going to be a fucking blast. Tune into that.
I can watch that live?
Yeah, you can watch it live online. You don't even have to
And then
show
your other
up.
show is Palm Springs?
Palm Springs.
There's a lot of gays over there. I don't want to go there.
And then
Sorry,
our
go
last
ahead and
show
watch
is-
the
Can't
live
say that
stream.
word over there.
Our last show
because
is
it sounds like
our last show is at the Whiskey on October 27th, and that will be another good time for us. And that's all I got.
Yeah. Sounds good. Pierre, real quick. Sorry, you go ahead and get your plugs.
Got some pluggies.
I
go
got
for
a
it.
couple plugs right here. So you can find me at Pierre Roland Blais on Instagram. And then you can also find my pops at Armand Blais Orchestra Official on Instagram.
Got it.
If you would like to book him, you can hit me up on Roland Blais Management on Instagram.
You get a 50% discount if you use discount code Thee Stool Podcast. No, just kidding.
Yeah, it'll only be $50,000. But or you can hit me up if you're looking for any Traeger product. I am Captain Traeger for Southern California. So Traeger, what's up, Jeremy? And Casey, those are Jeremy's the CEO of Traeger.
Nice.
So I want to say what's up. But yeah, so Traeger, check out Traeger. You'll find it. You'll see it. You'll
Traeger's
know what
awesome.
it is. And then anybody at the Comedy Store, what's up, guys? Mr. Pauly Shore. Thank you so much for your hospitality every time we come through. Frank Castillo, George Perez, all the homies at Comedy Store. We just want to say what's up. But yeah, other than that, I'm super stoked that you guys let my dad come through and kind of speak to who he is and who.
Now we know why you know. Now we know why you're the way you are.
Yeah,
you know
we've
why
gotten
I
some
am
insight.
how I am.
Yeah,
and it's all because of my dad.
we got some insight into how this man turned out to be the way he is.
Yeah, and he's being very polite You know, like when Jonny initially hit me up and said, "Hey, are there any words or anything that you want to keep?"
Just telling him about that.
Keep off. Like, is it not cool to talk about?
The only one he said was
I
Kamala
asked my
Harris.
dad, like, "Hey, are there any words or any topics that are off?" Like we do not talk about. He's like, words. He's like, he said, "What'd you say, Dad?"
Oh no, I got you.
He's got the text.
Yeah, you got the text. Go back to Jonny.
He literally, this is exactly what he texted me, and he said, and he quoted for his dad, right? He quoted for Armand. He said, "Words. I don't give a fuck what they say." Quotations, Armand Blais.
And on that quote, this has been Thee Stool Podcast.
Thee
Thank you
Stool
guys so
Podcast.
much for watching. This has been such a blast. We're going to have both of these tools.
Can I give my plugs real quick?
Oh, you didn't do your plugs?
No.
You didn't do your plugs?
No.
My bad. Go
Real
ahead.
quick.
I'm sorry.
I'll just do it quick. That's easy.
I thought you did them.
I did not. That was a good outro too. I should just let you
Shit.
go. I should just let you
I feel
go.
bad. Go.
That's all right. Hey, check out JonnySavag on IG and TikTok and all that bullshit and YouTube. Also check out my band DNG Heavy on IG. We're going to be playing a show, I think in Bakersfield again. Bakersfield is our home away from home. They
Jerry's
love it.
Pizza.
We're going to play there.
High Desert, California, bro.
We're more than likely
Good
going to play
shows.
there. We're more than likely going to play there with Bear King and Serpent something. I forgot. Sorry, guys. But I think we're booking that show. We're going to be doing it's supposed to be our EP release or something like that. Either way, check out DNG Heavy. Appreciate you guys.
Sick.
Also check out the Dunce right here on IG and YouTube and all that good stuff. We got an EP coming out with a music video that I'm currently working on right now. And then another music video we're going to release in for October. So we got a lot of stuff going on for the Dunce and Thee Stool Podcast here. We appreciate you guys. Armand, thank you so much. Pierre, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you guys.
It was such a fun podcast. We learned so much about you. And we just thank you for coming on. You know, it was a fun time.
That's just a scrape of the surface.
We're going to have you on again.
Oh,
you
yeah,
got,
there's
you got
a lot.
over
You might be our first series. What we do is we build a series of cracking into your career.
Yeah, it's a lot. I got so many questions. We just can't fit it in under 22 hours. You know.
Yeah, no,
It's
there's a
not
lot
gonna
to talk
fit.
about there. There's a lot, like you said, under the surface that's worth, getting out there, and especially on this format, on this soapbox, we can kind of put it out there. So
yeah, it'd be blessed. I'd love to come back.
hell yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
For Armand, for
Pierre,
Jonny, Mick,
and for myself, this has been Thee Stool. Thank you guys for watching. We love you.
right on. That's right.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap, baby. It's a wrap, baby.